All right, today we're jumping into the pretty intense world of commercial real estate finance. We're going to pull back the curtain and show you what it actually takes to get one of those massive 9-figure loans approved. So let's just start with a simple question. Imagine you found the perfect building. It's a great deal, but you need 50 million bucks. How in the world do you convince a lender to write a check that big? You'd think, right? The obvious answer is you build this beautiful spreadsheet showing all the incredible profits, the rents going through the roof. You focus on all the upside. Yeah, that's not how it works. Actually, if you only focus on the upside, there's a good chance your loan application is going to end up in the trash pile. See, here's the secret. Getting a huge commercial loan isn't about playing offense. It's about playing defense. Your job isn't to sell the lender on a dream. Your job is to prove to them beyond a shadow of a doubt how incredibly hard it would be for them to lose even a single penny of their money. And to really get why that is, you have to understand the two very different mindsets at the table. You've got credit and you've got equity. They're both in the same deal, but trust me, they are playing completely different games. So the equity investors, the sponsors, they're swinging for the fences. They're chasing that big payday. They get whatever's left over after everyone else gets paid. But credit, that's the lender. They have a totally different job. They get a fixed, kind of boring return. Their entire game is just protecting the cash they loaned out. If things go south, they have to get paid back first, period. This brings us right to the lender's mindset, which, honestly, you can boil down to one single question. One question that drives every single thing they do. That's it. That's the only question that truly matters to a credit underwriter. It's not, wow, how much money can we make here? It's, is my capital safe? Everything they do, every form they make you fill out, is designed to answer this one simple question with a loud, confident yes. So how do they get to that yes? Well, they have a specific set of tools, a toolkit, if you will, that they use to measure risk and basically build a fortress around their loan. Let's look at the three big ones. Okay, first up is loan to value, or LTV. The best way to think about this is like an airbag. It's the sponsor's own money, their equity, that's in the deal. And that money has to get completely wiped out before the lender even starts to lose a dime. And this chart just shows you exactly what that looks like in practice. For a nice, stable building, a lender might only loan you 70% of what it's worth. That other 30%, that's the equity cushion. It means the property's value could literally drop by almost a third, and the lender's loan is still totally safe. Next up is the debt service coverage ratio, DSCR for short. Now, if LTV is the airbag for the property's overall value, DSCR is the airbag for its monthly cash flow. It's a super simple check. Is the building making enough money each month to easily, comfortably pay the mortgage? See, lenders are never going to be cool with a property just barely scraping by. They need to see a buffer, some breathing room. A 1.25x DSCR is a pretty standard minimum. It means for every $1 the property owes on its loan payment, it's actually bringing in $1.25 in income. That extra 25 cents is the safety net. And finally, we have debt yield. This one became a huge deal after the 2008 financial crisis. You can think of it as a brutally honest reality check. It completely ignores things like interest rates and just asks a simple question. If we, the lender, had to foreclose on this property today, what would our return on investment be based only on the income the property makes right now? The calculation is dead simple. $1 million in income divided by a $10 million loan is a 10% debt yield. It gives the lender a clear, raw look at their risk with no fancy financial engineering to hide behind. Okay, so armed with these key metrics, the lender then puts the entire deal through what I like to call the gauntlet. It's this tough 5-phase stress test that's designed to find any and every single weakness. It's a really thorough process. Phase 1 is just a quick look to see if the deal even makes sense on the surface. If it does, they'll dig into the sponsor's reputation and the local market in phases 3 and 4. Phase 5 is all about adding legal protections. But the real battle, the place where deals are made or broken, is in phase 2, the property analysis. And this is absolutely the most critical part. The lender takes the sponsor's rosy best-case scenario story and they systematically rewrite it. They create a whole new story based on a much more conservative and frankly more realistic view of the world. And this table just lays out that process perfectly. It's a tale of two stories. The sponsor says, hey, we'll only have 3% vacancy. The lender says, let's plan for 7% just in case. The sponsor is hoping for 5% rent growth. The lender plugs in 2%. Every single one of these conservative tweaks stress tests the deal to see if it can survive when things don't go perfectly to plan. And while they're doing all this, they are constantly scanning for red flags. Are the projections just way too crazy? Does the sponsor have enough of their own money in the deal, enough skin in the game? Is the local market weakening? Any one of these can be an absolute deal killer. So after all of these tests, all these metrics, all these back and forth, we get to the bottom line. Why does this super defensive, conservative mindset matter so much? Well, it brings us all the way back to that fundamental question. In a $50 million deal, with all these checks and balances in place, who is actually taking on the real risk? And here's your answer. The entire system, the whole underwriting gauntlet, is designed so that the equity sponsor takes the first loss. That 30% cushion we talked about, it's designed to get wiped out first. The lender has built a fortress around their capital. For them, winning isn't about hitting a home run. The lender wins by simply not losing.